But here's Tasha K kind of speaking on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, um,
Jeez.
and what the sentiment is. All right.
Dang, she got some areolas.
Now I know y'all finna be mad.
What?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. So my platform is different. So, Dr. Bryant, I guess she's a University of Phoenix a degreed psychologist, okay,
Shut
special
up.
relationships. And so she's been making her rounds on different platforms, giving advice to men that we've already known had issues. I mean, narcissistic men, Cam Newton, Nick Cannon. I mean, do we really need anybody to tell us that these men are, just ain't shit, right? And so when it comes to relationships, and so she's been like I said, doing her thing. I don't know if y'all who's a part of TashaKLive.com. If you're a part of TashaKLive.com, disregard this because I want to kind of give some backstory here because I know a lot of y'all about to be, irritated with this commentary here. So we received some firsthand information from a source that had a verbal altercation with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Okay. And so this is when she was on Cam Newton's show. And I don't know if that was the first time like she had premiered in that form. Now I do know she's done television in the past, Teen Mom and things like that. But for her to, she's been out here, she's been trying to rebuild her brand, she's been trying to reestablish herself, she's been trying to be seen in a certain light. And so she needed a platform and a subject matter in order to get into that space because the red pill, blue pill space, everybody's been seeing it, the relationship space, the Kevin Samuel space, the Kendra G space, all of that is booming right now. And so this is where the money is, especially in this particular category. And so she is now branding herself as that. So she's gone from, counseling teenagers and being on different reality shows to now specifically talking about things that people are interested in, which is, am I going to be able to find a husband? What's wrong with the men out here? Black women still can't find a man, all this and that there. And so it's a great lane to get in, especially if you're trying to make some money, you're trying to really stick out. You're beautiful, you're marketable, because you have to be beautiful in order to sit on these platforms with these supposed high profile men. Okay, that's what y'all call them, high profile men. And really spit advice and drag them at the same time. And so she did that on Cam's show. Now with Cam Newton's show, he was doing her girlfriend a favor. So Cam Newton was best friends with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's girlfriend. And so, like I said, Cheyenne's been trying to get into this relationship space and it hasn't been clicking. So she needed the perfect subject matter. So her girlfriend, and I'm talking about her girlfriend, yes, ended up getting her the gig. Cam booked her based off of his relationship with her girlfriend. Okay. And did not expect for Dr. Cheyenne, after he gave her the platform, to turn around and try to diss him on his own platform.
So, in a sense, a lot of people are coming out, and I don't know how true this is, but it seems to have some legs to it. But a lot of people are now starting to gain traction on the whole idea that the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant chick, who is now, she appeared on a show on tonight's conversation. I think she be doing something on Fox Soul, and she's still doing her rounds with interviews and stuff like that. They are basically saying that she is gay, that she doesn't even talk to men. And again, I don't know how true this is, but this is the story that is gaining ground, gaining steam, and growing legs. Now, do you people on this platform, on this panel, and I'm gonna go to Carrie first, do you think that this is a problem and why? I'm gonna just leave it open ended. Do you think that this is a problem and why?
Why you always come to me with the loaded question first?
Well, Carrie, you always like to reserve yourself, so now I'm gonna have to come to you first.
Do I think that it's a problem that she was giving advice and she might be a lesbian?
Yes.
Damn.
I mean, not really, because to me, you need to be mindful of where you like who you subscribe to get your information or to get your feedback or your advice. So she could, from the little bit that I've heard from her, for me, it wouldn't have mattered if she has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I wasn't really subscribing to what she was saying anyway. So I mean, I think that this is just where discernment comes in when you listen to people, because everybody can have a platform. Everybody can be in front of a microphone. Everybody can give advice. So you have to expect that there's going to be some people who make it seem like they're qualified, but they're not. Tell you one story, but it's not the truth. Like you're going to have to leave room for that to exist. So in a perfect world, is it a problem? Sure. But that's not the world that we're in. So
I'm gonna go to Q Diddy next. Q Diddy, do you think that this is a problem and why?
Yeah, I think it's another instance of like maybe like right message, wrong messenger. Like it's given you just hate nigga vibes type stuff. Yes, I said it's giving.
All right, Mika, do you think that this is a problem and why? And we're under the assumption that it may or may not be true that she's gay or not. But either way, do you think that this is a problem and why?
I think it's a problem for two reasons. The first reason, if she's gay, she's not even dealing with men. So where are you getting the actual information from? If it's not anecdotal, then what experiences or whose experiences are you using to actually come up with this information? And then the second part is, it's a problem because it seems like everyone knows, and it's Black women's fault, but everyone knows that you can grift off of Black women if you just tell them what they want to hear.
Mm. Okay.
So it's a problem because here you have another person, and with all this woman talk and women supporting women, you have a woman who doesn't even like, men for the most part. So they're not in the majority of women and what they're going through. And they're telling you what to do, and they don't live that life. And frankly, they don't have the problems that you have. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just seems to me like she's grifting, and I think that's always a problem.
Slimmy, do you think that this is a problem and why?
Hell yeah. Because I told these motherfucking gay motherfuckers, y'all stay out straight folks' business, man. Y'all don't want us in y'all's, stay out of ours. If you gay, stay over there. Don't worry about this shit over here. It don't apply to you. We're not telling no men how to be with men and women how to be with women. We don't talk about that shit. So stay out this shit. And then another thing is, I think I agree with Molly, man. It's time to stop talking about these motherfucking relationships, man. Talk about something else because y'all don't know how to do this shit right. Stop talking about that shit. This shit tired, man. Like everybody want to say, oh, it's a red pill, it's real, it's this, it's that, it's giving out. Man, I don't give a fuck what you think about somebody's relationship. Your relationship ain't fucking successful. Bitch, you was for the motherfucking streets when you was straight. So it don't matter. You're not even giving good advice. You're trying to tell people how to live their life. Why? Who are you? Man, I'm definitely not gonna give nobody no relationship advice. I'm single, I be fucking up. My shit be fucked up. I deal with some fucked up people. I can't give nobody relationship advice. I'm not fucking married.
That's what makes it entertaining, Slimmy, is that it's not necessarily the relationship advice, but it's talking about how fucked up our lives are, right?
Well, hey, then don't call it no relationship advice though. Call it talking about your life. Call it talking about, hey, I do some fucked up shit. I deal with some fucked up people. And this is how we live. That ain't relationship advice though. Relationship advice is productive. It's positive. It don't tear people down. It builds people up. She sat up there and tore this man down on his own platform. and started shining off that shit. Like, how was that positive? Like,
all right, I got you.
that's what I think.
Fatty, thoughts?
When you paint yourself as a preacher, you are putting yourself into a corner. And nothing other than perfection will be used against you. She said to Cam Newton and to Nick Cannon and to all those guys that they were wrong. They were doing it wrong. You can do it like this. You are doing a disservice to your family and the community and all that. And now let me go ahead and scissor this woman real quick. Nothing on the lesbian relationship as is about community. They are not good raising families. They have the most domestic violence. They have the most everything that you're actually going to do bad, and they can procreate. So the problem is not that they are lesbians. You go ahead and do whatever you want to do with your life. The problem is if you go to other places and preach community and this is what you should do as the nuclear family and da 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 da, and then you turn around and you're licking carpets, that's a little bit problematic because you are preaching something and you are literally going ahead and doing something that is actually worse on the community type of building thing. If you're not a community person, it's just your opinion. But that's the problem with preachy people. Once you preach to people, you have to have a standard that is immaculate. Once you go down that standard, you are going to be judged the same way you're judging these people. So, congratulations. If this is true, she's going to have a rough beginning of the year. I hope it's not.
So, Quentin, do you think that people should tune out? Do you think that she gotta do you agree with Fatty that she's going to have a rough time going forward because a lot of people are starting to come at her?
I think she'll come and go. Like, she's not in my algorithm. And I fucking consume a lot of this shit. She ain't hit it yet.
It's going to happen to her the same thing that happened to Cooley. Are you going to sit with these people on the table now, knowing your past and what you're going through? I can throw that shit to your face. How are you going to come from the point of view of, I'm a doctor with the PhD here to tell you what you need to do when you can even do it yourself? You can fix yourself. How are you fixing others? There's the same way to think with Cooley. You have a baby mama of 2, and you tell him men to not pursue baby mama of 2. You are going to have difficulty now sparring with people every time you go to these platforms because now they know your game. So I hope that she's wrong.
Do y'all think that the argument is what matters or the credibility of the person? Because that's really the thing right now, is that people are really questioning people versus evaluating whether or not their argument stands. Like, how do you balance
Well,
that?
I'm about to use this word again. Like, I hate it, but it fits. Like, it's giving like fat trainer trying to get you in shape.
Coming from the Fed delegation, I don't see a problem with it. Mr. Miyagi wasn't in shape. Costomado was training. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, he wasn't in shape. It's not about what you preach. It's about the angle that you use. Are you humble about it? Are you saying, I'm an alcoholic. I have severe problem with alcohol. I admit my faults. You shouldn't drink. If you do, rah, rah, rah. What is your excuse for eating not being vegan? And then I see you in a line at McDonald's, you are going to get it. It's just the preachy thing. It's just the preacher situation. If you are humble about it, I have no problem with you. Just don't go around preach people that they should be vegan, and I go to the food court and you are eating a Whopper. Can't be doing that.
I agree. I think sometimes you don't have to actually live it to talk the application of it, right? Because there are some professors in college that'll tell you how to start a business and never started a business in their life, right? So they know maybe the fundamentals and things like that. But I think with Dr. Bryant, it does matter because you're giving not only the advice, but you're giving the application and you're saying that, and a lot of the time she's like, I've had this experience, so now she's given anecdotal, information. And so if she's gay, then it's like, so you are lying, because if you're gay, how are you having the same anecdotal experience that I'm having?
Do you guys think that the only reason why credibility is starting to become a factor because the spaces are getting more crowded and people are trying to filter through who they rock with and who they don't rock with, or do you just think that credibility has always been an issue in all of these spaces in general?
The former.
That is getting crowded.
Like niggas think they can just come up and talk some shit like everybody else and get a bag.
I think
No, I
that
think the algorithm is infinite, so it's not necessarily about it being crowded. I think the thing is like the validity is suspect. Like y'all just said, Cooley he might have trouble moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Think
people
so?
just stop, if people just stop listening to him,
I don't think that it has any.
And
I don't think that I don't think that that people will go away from somebody because of their credibility if you have great talent. I think that talent and,
like that
and
caveat.
consistency in the creative space trumps all. If you are great at what you do, it doesn't matter if you misstep. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. It doesn't matter what happens. People are going to tune in to see what you got to say about it, and then they're going to continue to be entertained from it. I don't
I've
think
seen that happen with more men than women.
I think you can sustain when you are facing low level opponents. This space is hyper competitive. Everybody wants to take a little bit of your clout to get a leg up. If you have a tainted pants, you probably can get away with it while you're debating or talking with people that either don't know your past or not good actually using against you. But when you get on these high level arenas with seasoned people, seasoned content creators and all that, you are done. Because they will punish you because you actually don't practice what you preach. So on her case, and she's on the top of the line, don't you think Cam Newton and Uncle doesn't have 3 people on the back researching the next guest? Like you see how Shannon actually presents these people, the doctor, the scientist, the astronaut. He says 73 things that you do just to present yourself. So somebody went on the back to check who you are. They will have this actually data about her. Like if she's true, she's going to have so much trouble going around on these media circuit because they're going to use it against her.
I'll give you an example. Which is a funny example. I remember when Cynthia G was around, and I don't know how true it was, but it was often communicated that she had a son or she had a child with a dusty guy.
Yes.
Right. But that never stopped people from tuning in to hear what she had to say or listening or getting into her live streams.
That's different though. She had a whole bunch of baby mamas rocking with her.
I was about to say that's because I think also it's your audience, right? Like we talk about all the time how people go to the Democrats, right? Their audience wants to hear that. Her audience, Cynthia G's audience, wants to hear Black men ain't. So she's going to have that regardless of her actual circumstance, because she talked about it. Like it's not a rumor because I heard it from Cynthia G.
Yes.
But Cynthia G goes to the extreme, and there are some Black women that like that extreme, and they're going to listen to that.
But with that being said, credibility no longer played a factor. The only thing that matters was whether you were entertaining and whether or not you was able to hold the audience, though, right?
It depends.
Yes and no, because it wasn't necessarily that she was entertaining, because Cynthia G is dry. I have watched.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch her stuff, but I'm just saying
having a conversation. It's not really her being entertaining. It's more so she speaks to I will give her this. She knows her demographic. So she keeps speaking to that point, and the point that she speaks to is everything is these men's fault, and it's never your fault. And for women who don't want to take accountability, she's going to have an audience.
So the thing about it, Anthony, is she doesn't leave her bubble. So she's immune to it. As soon as you go outside of your bubble, now problems. It's like Priscilla. Priscilla is a queen when she's talking with her minions. As soon as she gets out of her bubble, she's an easy target. And
But will it? I guess my question though is, will it? Do y'all honestly think that these people are going to be affected in any way, shape, or form, as far as their ability to be able to still create content,
no,
capture an audience?
no. It's like Derek Jackson. As long as he doesn't come our way, he good. If he puts a foot on the manosphere,
So it really doesn't matter about your credibility. Then is what y'all saying?
It will lower your ceiling. Now you can go having a debate with Anton on the panel because you know he's going to get you. Now you have to be afraid of going outside to a certain show because you think somebody's going to be there that is going to point it out. And like Anton, think about it, right? The way that I usually go at people is let me reverse engineer it. If I was Dr. Bryant and I was a lesbian, how can I get out of this bag? If somebody asks, but you are a lesbian and you date woman at 40 something when you're telling men, how can you reverse engineer that and get out of that bag? You can't. Like, what is the acceptable answer?
Well, she don't have to necessarily answer to whether or not she's a lesbian or not.
But that's the point. A non-answer is an answer.
Nope, it's not true.
If she says, no comment, I don't want to talk about my personal life, you are leaking them. Yes,
it's not true. That's not true.
So you are telling me if I ask a woman, are you an heterosexual woman? And she says, no comment, I don't want to talk about my person. If I ask Dr. Brian, are you heterosexual? And she says, I don't want to. Yes. Are you good? Like, she's not going to be able to dodge it because a non-answer will be an answer. If she says, I don't want to talk about my personal life, yes, you are actually, we know that you're engaging with women, because if not, you could just say, I only like men. I don't know where this comes from.
Well, I mean, that doesn't really matter, because even if you asked her and she said, yes, I am heterosexual, you wouldn't be able to prove that she's not heterosexual.
No. Is that you are telling these men that are behaving into degenerate behavior her words while you literally.
But no. What I'm saying is you can't prove that she's not credible by asking her a question.
No.
Her answering the question doesn't remove her credibility, because she can tell you whatever it is that she want to tell you.
So if a woman would say that men that look at relationships, heterosexual relationships, in a more polyamorous type of way are wrong, and she literally engaging in homosexual behavior, which one is?
But that's, again, you can't substantiate whether or not she really is or not. The point that I'm making is that credibility, I'm not really sure it means as much as y'all think that it means. I don't know if it really resonates as much. We say that credibility matters because it's going to destroy. Honestly, I believe that credibility only matters to people that really don't give a F about you. If people love you, if people rock with you, if they find you great, if they find you entertaining, they still gonna tune in to see you. Credibility, or a lack thereof, only matters when people don't necessarily care for you. It doesn't mean that you lose your audience. It just means that people want to continue to go at you that never was really rocking with you in the first place.
I think it elevates you though, Anton, because you're very entertaining. But I think by you actually living what you talk about elevates you even more.
I do think that it counts in certain spaces with certain people. I do think that it matters, but only because I brand myself that way.
Because if you look at it from, okay, like the hip hop rapper standpoint, right? Yeah, you can just be talking about it on wax, but it seems like the people that quote unquote want to, for whatever reason, live that life, it seems like they elevate more because they have more credibility of being.
It depends on how talented you are.
But I'm saying, if you have No, I'm saying if you,
credibility only really affects you or matters when you can't, in my opinion, when you can't lean on a talent.
no, I'm not saying if you it erases the talent. I'm saying if you have the talent and you actually have the credibility that I can actually see and quantify, I think it raises your stock because
I
like
agree.
you have
I agree.
like if you have somebody like, you know, Jay-Z, if he's talking about this and then you can actually
Doesn't
see it,
matter. Doesn't matter.
it
You know
raises his
why?
stock even more.
You
On
know,
our case matters, Anton.
I'm sorry, what matters?
On our case matters because you are underestimating something, right? You
Mhm.
can do shows by yourself. You can do shows on panels. You can do interviews. You
Mhm.
can do debates.
Mhm.
That woman can carry a show by herself.
I
Every
agree.
single time she went viral was because one person was in front of her and it was such of a confrontation to the point where it became viral.
I agree.
Next confrontation, she can carry shows by herself. So next confrontation, let's see if this person is going to like, all right, hey man, what's
Yeah,
going
but
on with
she
this
never
woman?
really had any visibility or a platform to where she
Yes,
had
You
to.
got it now with
So,
that
so,
Fat
so,
Soul.
so I agree. Well, no, that show is trash. They're not
but
even.
there's the difference between her and Cynthia G. Cynthia G can isolate herself and going into her cocoon into a little bubble
Which
and
is
keep
why I
selling.
said that talent matters, right?
Yes. So what is she going to do now? Do solo shows?
Well, I mean, again, but that's my point. Like, talent matters. Look, it's people. Let's take the bus driver chick. What was her name?
Wait, what? Oh,
The chick
Oh, yeah,
that I
yeah.
wouldn't
I know
date a
you're talking
bus
about. Go
driver
ahead.
chick, right? What was her?
we
Whatever
know.
her name was. Nobody ever tuned in to see her per se. You know what I'm saying? Like to check her show out or whatever she had. Nobody was really checking for that. People was only checking to see how trash she was when she said something that was out of pocket that they didn't agree with. Nobody goes and rocks with Quentin's girl. What's her name? Joy, whatever.
Joyless Reed.
No, not
Joy
Joy
Taylor.
Reid. Joy
Oh, Joy
Taylor.
Taylor.
That Too Personal show is garbage.
Damn, Quentin, fight back.
No, that's not Quentin's fault, but that show with Joy Taylor and Joy, whatever the other Joy,
Yeah.
respectfully,
Brooks.
Joy Brooks and Joy Taylor. Like nobody tunes in to see that. But when they say something that's crazy, they'll tune in to catch how baseheaded they were. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it depends on the content creator. It depends on the person. I don't think that it necessarily depends on whether you're credible or not.
Joy Brooks, she it's just Joy Taylor by herself now. Brooks got about the game. She says you're on your own, girl.
So now nobody's really watching.
Damn.
Well,
I mean, when
Joy
is the last
Brooks got
time?
that one actor dude as her boyfriend. She had to go ahead and pivot.
What was the last time you actually went and seen that show? You went to that channel. Let me
Right
go
now,
check it out.
when you brought it up.
Oh, see what I'm saying?
And she the only one on the cover photo.
I think that being a creator is a talent. I genuinely believe that it is a talent, and people think that it's easy, but it is much more difficult than people think.
Well, it
It's a
comes
talent.
down to. Did you see what happened? What's the Brett Cooper lady?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fumbled the bag with that new bitch.
Yeah. Yep.
I think they said they lost over like what 250,000 like subscribers like since she left or some shit.
Brett Cooper on from
Well, no,
Ben
The
Shapiro.
comment section
the
or
comment
something like
section.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was talented, right? I think that being a creator is a talent, and very few people, a lot of people think that they can do it, but people don't really understand it. I don't think that they get it.